So today's we will be discussing the linear programming Big M method, uh, which is the extension of the linear programming, and on the basis of certain issues which are encountered in the general simplex method. If the problem is of minimization with greater than equal to type constraint or equal to type constraint, or problem is of the mixed constraint, then we are not able to solve the problem with the general simplex method. So in that case, you have to use the either Big M method or its modified format two-phase simplex method. Basically, both the methods are same. Only the difference is that we use the concept of M or -1 or +1 in case of the two-phase simplex method. So now we'll be focusing on the Big M method. As far as the Big M method is concerned, the Big M method of linear programming is used when matrix of coefficient of variables among constraints do not form unitary matrix or identity matrix. I have already told you yes in the day before yesterday's lecture that what do you mean by the identity matrix or the unity matrix? Suppose there are three constraints, then the coefficient 3 by 3 unitary matrix is required from the coefficients of the variables among the constraints. That means a unitary matrix or the identity matrix mean that their diagonal elements are 1 and other elements are 0. And to form the identity matrix in the matrix of constraints, we have to introduce artificial variables in the constraints. So when there is an introduction of artificial variables to form unitary matrix or identity matrix among the constraints, then it is not possible to solve it with the help of the general simplex method. Then you have to take the help of the either Big M method or two-phase simplex methods. So artificial variables are basically introduced in the constraints where either greater than equal to type constraints are there or equal to type constraints are there. Because in case of less than equal to type constraints, we introduce the slack variable, which is added on the left side, that is plus S1 or plus S2 or plus S3. So that will not need any kind of artificial variable. But when there is a greater than equal to type constraint, we will introduce the surplus variable, that is minus S1 or minus S2 or minus S3. Or sometime we have to introduce it in the equal to type constraint also, because in that constraint too, the identity matrix concept is not available. So what do you mean by when I say that Big M method? So here M is there like a penalty coefficient in the objective function. If the problem is of maximization, we give the minus M penalty. Minus M means M is a very, very high penalty. If minus M is there, it means we are getting a low profit. And if plus M in the cost minimization problem is there, then it means it is very, very high cost. So we introduce the plus M and minus M in the objective function and similarly to the artificial variable, we give the coefficient M in the constraints, so that this high penalty which is introduced as a coefficient to the artificial variable is out of our basic feasible solution, and we get the optimal solution. So basically in here M is like a penalty coefficient in the objective function. The artificial variable technique, as I have already told you, is used when the linear programming has greater than or equal to type of constraints. If all the constraints are less than equal to type, then there is no need to introduce any kind of artificial variable. So there we don't need the Big M method and the two-phase simplex method. In that case, we can only use it general simplex method and get the optimal solution. So here the basic need of basically why artificial variable are introduced, because the coefficients of the constraints, when they form in the form of a matrix, they don't form the unitary matrix or identity matrix. So basic need of determining identity submatrix from the coefficient matrix is not fulfilled. Hence the initial basic feasible solution is not available. So in that case, we have to introduce artificial variable, and whenever the artificial variables are there in our basic feasible solution, we have to use the Big M method or two-phase simplex methods. So artificial variables are basically used to form identity submatrix in the constraints. So the Big M method is just a modification of the original simplex algorithm, which we known as general simplex algorithm, and gives similar results when applied to the linear programming method. So there will be some changes when we revise the linear programming by introducing the artificial variable and restructuring the general linear programming model, only there some changes will be there. So when the first simplex table is formulated, after that the same procedure which we were earlier using in the day before yesterday's lecture or general simplex method, same will be used and same methodology will be arrived at to arrive at the optimal solution. So what are the various steps involved in the Big M method? So we will be discussing some cases. So first case, we will be discussing case A. The constraints are having greater than equal to sign with unusual less than equal to sign. That means we have a mixed constraint. In some constraint which are equal to less than equal to type, and in some constraint we have a greater than equal to type. So first we will be discussing about steps about that. So first of all, we have the problem of linear programming where objective function is a linear format. Constraints are in the linear format, but as far as the constraints are concerned, some constraints are greater than equal to type and some constraints are less than equal to type. So first of all, we will identify the constraint which are having less than equal to type. So add non-negative weight slack variable in case of constraints having less than equal to type, as we were doing earlier. Secondly, if there are constraints having greater than equal to type, we will deduct surplus variables. That means S1 and S2. And because when you introduce surplus variable, minus S point will be there. So therefore, we have to introduce artificial variables A1, A2, or if the constraints are more than 2, A1, A2, A3, so on. So if the problem is of maximization, kindly note in objective function, minus 1 coefficient will be given to the m in the objective function. If the problem is of maximization, then minus m will be given. If the problem is of minimization, then plus m coefficient will be given to the m in the objective function. So this should be taken care of while doing the questions with the help of the mixed constraints in Big M method. So let us take an example. With the help of example, we will understand how the things are changed, how the first table is formulated, and how we materialize to get the optimal solution. For example, you have a constraint that maximize z is equal to x1 plus 2x2 plus 2x3. This is general linear objective function. There's no problem in it. But problem isn't in the constraints. First constraint is x1 minus x2 plus x3 greater than equal to 4. And second constraint is x1 plus x2 plus 2x3, which is less than equal to 8. And third constraint is x1 minus x3 greater than equal to 2. So now here, two constraints are of greater than equal to type, that is first and third. And second constraint is of less than equal to type. So now let us take an example. In first constraint, which is greater than equal to type, we will introduce the surplus variable to equalize it. So first step will be to equalize the constraint. And to equalize the constraint, first of all, we will introduce when the constraint is of greater than equal to type, we will introduce surplus variable. So x1 minus x2 plus x3 minus s1 will be there, which will be equal to 4. Second constraint is of less than equal to type, x1 plus x2 plus 2x3 plus s2 will be equal to 8. And third constraint is again greater than equal to type, x1 minus x3 minus s3 will be equal to 2. So here we have introduced s1, which is a surplus variable, s2, which is a slack variable, and s3, which is a surplus variable to equalize the constraint. Now these constraints are equalized, but the identity matrix, if you form a matrix of these coefficients of the constraint, the identity matrix will not be there. And in order to bring the identity matrix in the constraint, wherever the surplus variable are introduced, you will introduce artificial variable there. So in first constraint, x1 minus x2 plus x3 minus s1 plus a1 artificial variable will be introduced, which will be equal to 4. In second constraint, there is no need to introduce any artificial variable because already S1 will give S2, which is slack variable, will give 1 coefficient. And in third constraint, x1 minus x3 minus s3 we have done. Here again, we need to introduce 1 artificial variable, that is a2. So 2 artificial variable will be required. 1 in the first constraint, a1, and 1 in the third constraint, that is a3. So let us see to this. So this will become our constraints. So first constraint, which was earlier x1 minus x2 plus x3 greater than equal to 4. Here we will introduce the artificial variable and the surplus variable x1 minus x2 plus x3 minus s1. That is introduced as a surplus variable. Because S2, S3 are introduced in second and third constraint, here we have not introduced. So we will be giving 0 coefficient to them and we'll introduce here also. So 0 S2 plus 0 S3. But because this constraint was of greater than equal to type, to form identity matrix, one artificial variable is required. So we will introduce A1 here also. So, but because in third constraint we have introduced A2, here also we will introduce A2, but will be giving 0 coefficient. So equal to 4. So similarly, in the second constraint, x1 plus x2 plus 2x3, s1 is not there, so 0 will be introduced, 0 s1. S2, because less than equal to type, plus s2 will be introducing. S3 is not there, 0 coefficient will be putting. And in artificial variable, A1 is not there because it was introduced in the first constraint. Here also we require it, but with 0 coefficient. So it will not change the functionality of this constraint. And A2 is also not there because it is introduced in 3, but we require it. So 0 A2 will be introduced and equal to 8 it will become. Similarly, in the third constraint, we have x1, but x2 is not there. So 0 x2 will be introduced, minus x3 plus 0 s1 plus 0 s2 minus s3 is equal to plus 0 a1. Here we have to, because greater than equal to type constraint is there, A2 will be introduced and equal to 2. So in this way, we have changed the the total structure of the constraints by introducing slack variables, surplus variables, and artificial variables. And similarly, we'll be changing the objective function also, because here only z is equal to x1, 2x2 plus 3x3 is there. But we will introduce artificial and surplus and slack variables also. So as far as surplus and slack variables are there, here we will be giving 0 s1, 0 s2, 0 s3. But here the problem is of maximization. Artificial variable will be introduced with minus m to a1 and a2 objective function. So in this way, the objective function will also be required. Now we will be forming this simplex table, which will be in our hands. So from this, these type of constraints will be forming these type of constraint, the first simplex table. So first column, here will be coefficients of the basic variables. Here CB, where minus m and minus m is written there. So it will be CB. Here we'll be writing basic variable. Basic variable are those variable whose coefficients in the objective, in the constraints form identity matrix, that we will see where how it becomes. So second, this column will be basic variable. Then quantity, that means solution value, which we earlier write it, solution value, that is the right hand side of the constraint, which is given 4, 8, and 2. That will be written here. And here we will write all the variables in the objective function, x1, x2, s3, s1, s2, s3 we have introduced, and a1, a2 we have introduced the artificial variable with minus m as coefficient. So here we will write the constraints coefficient in various variable. For example, x1 is there. So x1 first constraint we have one coefficient, in second constraint also we have one coefficient, in third constraint also we have one coefficient. So here 1, 1 and 1 will be written. In x2 we have minus 1, then 1, and third we have 0. So minus 1, 1 and 0 will be written here. Similarly in x3, 1, 2 and minus 1 will be written, 1, 2 and minus 1. Similarly in S1, minus 1, 0, 0 will be written. So here is S1 minus 1, 0, 0. Similarly S2, 0, here it is 1 and 0, 0, 1 and 0 will be written. Similarly S3, 0, 0 and minus 1 will be written. So 0, 0 and minus 1 will be written. So now in the first constraint we have introduced a1, in second it is not there, in third it is not there. So 1, 0, 0 will be introduced in a1 matrix. So similarly a2, you have 0, 0 and 1. So 0, 0 and 1 will be written here. So now we have to identify what are the variables which form the identity matrix, because it's a three constraints are there. So in 3 constraints, matrix, we need 3 by 3 identity matrix. 3 by 3 identity matrix means its diagonal elements will be 1, other will be 0. So the first column of 3 by 3 identity matrix will be 1, 0, 0. We will find out where the 1, 0, 0 column is there in the this matrix of the constraints. So here around A1, below A1, we have 1, 0, 0. So it means first column of the identity matrix will be 1, 0, 0, and which is formed by the A1. So we will write A1 as a basic variable. Similarly, second, we need 0, 1, 0, because 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and 0, 0, 1 will be identity matrix. So 0, 1, 0 is below S2, which is 0, 1, 0. So we'll write S2 here. And third column, we need 0, 0, 1, which is in below A2, which is 0, 0, 1. So we will write here A2. Now, what are the coefficients of these three basic variables which we have identified from the constraints? So A1's coefficient in the objective function is -1. So we will write -1 here. Similarly, S2's coefficient in the objective function is 0. Cj value is 0. So we'll write 0 here. And thirdly, A2's coefficient here also, here you can correct it, here it is -1. So A2's coefficient in the basic function is also -1. So here -1 will be written here. So in this way, we have first simplex table. Now the next step is to find out the Zj value. Zj value mean we will multiply all these column with this column of coefficients of the basic variable. First is 1 multiplied by -m plus 1 multiplied by 0, 0. So -m plus 1 multiplied by -m minus 2m will be written here. So Zj value will be finding out. So similarly, x2 column -m multiplied by m plus 0 plus 0. So plus m will be in place. In x3, -m plus 0 plus m. So -m plus m becomes 0. Similarly, in S1, -1 multiplied by -1, that will become plus m, 0, 0. So plus m will be in place. Similarly, under S2, 0 multiplied by -m, 0. Here also 0 and here also 0. So 0 will be there. So S3, 0, again 0, and again plus m. -m multiplied by -m will become plus m. And A1 column, 1 multiplied by -m, 0 and 0. So -m will be there. So in A2, 0 multiplied by -m, 0. Again here 0, and again here 1 multiplied by -m will be there. So we have calculated the Zj value. Next, to check the optimality of this solution, we will find out Cj minus Zj value. So here is the Cj values, which are the coefficients of the basic variable in the objective function. So x1 coefficient is 1, x2 coefficient is 2, then 3, then 0, 0, 0, and -m and -m. So here we will calculate the Cj minus Zj value. So Cj values are this. Zj values are given to you. So 1 minus 2m, it will become 1 plus 2m. Similarly, 2 minus m, 2 minus m will be there. 3 minus 0, 3 will be there. Then again 0 minus m, 0 minus m minus m will be there. Similarly, S2, 0 minus 0, 0 will be there. And here 0 minus m will be there. Minus m minus m plus m will be there. So minus m plus m, 0 ban jayega. So A2, here also minus m is there. So you read it as a minus m. Minus m, then again here value Zj is minus m plus m will become 0. So now we will test the optimality. Cj minus Zj values are there. Now because it's a maximization problem, all Cj minus Zj values should be negative. But you find that in first column it is positive, in second column it is positive, and in other third here also it is positive. So we have to find out the biggest value among these positive. So because m is very high coefficient, so 1 plus 2m is going to be bigger than 2 minus m. So therefore 1 plus 2m will be treated as key column, and variable corresponding to this column will be the entering variable. So it means in the next table will be x1 will be entering. And now to find out the minimum ratio, to find out the exit variable, which is the exit variable. And from this, we have the solution values 482, which will be divided by the coefficients of the entering variable, which is a key column here. So 4 divided by 1, 4 by 1, 8 divided by 1, 8 by 1, and 2 divided by 1, 2 by 1. So you will find out the minimum ratio, and the minimum ratio here is 2 by 1. That is, it means A2 will go out of this solution and x1 will enter this solution. So with this help, we will find out the first, after that, second simplex table. So that means this is the key element, which is already 1. And we have to make it 1 in the another second table. So same row will be replaced, because the whole row will be divided by the key element, which is 1. So the next row which is contributed here, x1 will be entered, and the whole row which is here, 2 divided by 1, 1 divided by 1, 0 divided by 1, minus 1 divided by 1, 0 by 0, 0 by 0, minus 1 by 0, 0 by 0, 1 by 0, all will be same because it is to be divided by 1. So whole the new row will be the same row, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1, and 0. So in this way, the first row is introduced. Similarly, we have already talked about how to find out the other rows. That means after that, you have to find this row A1. Here the element is 1, which needs to be 0. So it means by operating with this row and the new row of x1 which we have find. So this row, because at that point 1 element is there, so this whole row will be multiplied by with 1 and will be deducted from this old row. So 4, when we multiply with 1, 4 minus 2, so ultimately 2 here will be replaced. So similarly, this also 1 is there, and in the new row 1 is there. So 1 minus 1 by 1, here 0 will be introduced. So in this way, this row will be introduced. Similarly, we will, following the same procedure, we will be finding out the row of S2 also. So in the new table, you have A1, S2, and X1, and the solution values has become 2, 6, and 2. So again, we will do the same thing. You will find the Zj values first. So first column 0 multiplied by minus m, because A1 the coefficient is same in the objective function minus 1, S2 the 0, or X1 the jada 1 coefficient is there. Same column will be multiplied by this. So here 0 multiplied by minus 1 plus 0 plus 1. So here it will become in this concept minus m plus m, that will become 0. So Zj, its value will be, yes, 0 multiplied by minus m, 0, and here 1. So you can write here, thoda ja correct kar liyo tusi. So here it will be minus m, then 0 and 1, minus m plus 1, minus m plus 1 will be there. So here introduce minus m plus 1. So here minus m multiplied by minus m, minus 1 multiplied by minus m, a plus m ban jayega. Here 0, a plus m aega. So here it is m, first column de vich minus m plus 1 hai, second de vich m aa gaya, third de vich 2 multiplied by minus m, minus 2m. So similarly here 3 is 0, and minus 1 multiplied by 1, that will become minus 1. So it will be minus 1 minus 2m. Similarly here plus m will be there, minus m multiplied by minus m plus m will be there, others will be 0. So here 0, 0, and 0, it will be 0. So here minus m, 0, and plus m, minus m, minus m, minus m, minus 1. So similarly under the A1, we will be finding out 1 multiplied by minus m, here 0, 0. So minus m will be there. A2 column will not be formed, because once it is out, you need not to create the column of the artificial variable. So again, Cj minus Zj value will be found. You will find 2 minus m, 2 plus 2m plus 4, minus m, 0, m plus 1. So again, we will find which is the highest value. So 2m plus 4 is the positive value. Again, same column will be formed here, and the entering variable will be x3. And now For finding out the exit variable, again 2 divided by 2, 1 is there. Again 6 divided by 3, 2 is there. And 2 divided by -1. So minus figure we will not take here. So it will be treated as minus. So we will be taking ratio, positive ratio, so least JD ratio, that is the 1. So it means A1 will go out of this relation. So now we'll be ignoring the A1 column also. A1 form karandi loni. Similarly, third simplex table we will be forming. And in third simplex table also, when you calculate Cj minus Zj value, so 4 again is there, which is the maximum value. 2 is positive again. So it means highest 4 will be taken. So x2 will enter the solution, and the exit variable, we will find the ratio. So here it is 1 divided by -1. So negative ratio will not be considered. 3 divided by 5 by 2, 6 by 5. This is the again is there. Then 3 divided by -1 by 2. Again it is negative. So positive ratio only 1 is there. 6 by 5 key ratio will be there. So 5 by 2 will be the key element. So again we will be forming the fourth simplex table. So this will be the fourth simplex table. Again Zj and Cj values will be find out. And here you find that all Cj minus Zj values are negative. It means optimal solution has been arrived at. So what is the optimal solution? X1 is equal to 18 by 5. X2 is equal to 6 by 5 and X3 is equal to 8 by 5. And if you put it in the objective function, then its value will be 54 by 5. So what we have changed in the Big M method, that we have just introduced the artificial variable, then putting the artificial variable in the all constraints, revising the objective function. If in the problem is of maximization, by giving the -1 coefficient to the M in the objective function, and to all other variables we have given the 0 coefficient. So first simplex table is formed in the same way. Same iterative procedure which we discussed in the general simplex method is followed, and then we arrive at the logical, lastly the optimal solution. Now there are a number of situations which may arise that you may now note down. For example, if you have got the optimal solution, but still in basic variables, artificial variables are there. That means that you test the optimality, Cj minus Zj is tested, and you find out that still there are artificial variable in the basic variable. But here x3, x2, x1 is there. Suppose here a1 is still there. Then we will say that this solution is having infeasible solution. So this problem has no solution. The problem is treated as infeasible solution. The problem is only we got the feasible solution only when all artificial variables in the last optimal solution table has gone out, and only the basic variables, which are x1, x2 and x3, or s1, s2 or s3 are there. If some artificial variables exist in the solution basic variable which is arrived at after the final table, then you will say that this problem has infeasible solution. But in this solution we have x1, x2 and x3 which has some values. So it means feasible solution and optimal solution is found out. So there is no infeasibility. So this was Big M method. So now let's move to another problem which you may know now. Maximize Z is equal to 4x1 plus 5x2 minus 3x3. So all of you must note down this problem, and you have to solve it with your own practice also. Maximize Z is equal to 4x1 plus 5x2 minus 3x3, subject to constraint x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equal to 10. This constraint is having equal to type constraint. Second is x1 minus x2 greater than equal to 1. And third constraint is 2x1 2x1 plus 3x2 plus x3 less than equal to 30. So one constraint is of equal to type, second constraint is of greater than equal to type, third constraint is of less than equal to type. So three constraints are there. When we move to revise this problem by introducing slack variable, surplus variable and artificial variables, this problem will be revised. In first constraint we have only three variable x1, x2 and x3 which is of equal to type. In second constraint we have x1 minus x2 which is of greater than equal to type. Here we have to introduce artificial variable. And in third constraint, which is also again less than equal to type, So in second constraint, we have to introduce the artificial variable. So two artificial variables will be required. One is the constraint which is having equal to type, and one is the constraint which is having greater than equal to type. So in third constraint, there will be no need to introduce any artificial variable. So revised structure of this problem will be there. So first constraint is was x1 plus x2 plus x3. And because we have to, because this is an equal to type constraint, one artificial variable will be introduced because we need the column of 1, 0, 0. So A1 will be introduced. There's no S1 and S2. So 0 S1, 0 S2 you can introduce, and 0 A2 you can write down. Similarly, in the second constraint, x1 plus x2 plus 0 x3 minus S1, because greater than equal to type constraint were there. S2 was not introduced. 0 coefficient may be introduced. So 0 A1 plus A2 is equal to 1. So similarly, in the third constraint, 2x1 plus 3x2 plus x3 plus 0s1 plus 0s2 plus 0a1 plus 0a2. So here only s2 is introduced as a slack variable. So equal to 30 will be there. So all x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, a2 are equal, greater than equal to 0. So again, this problem is revised. Same in the objective function. x1, x2, x3 was there, but a1, s1, s2 was not there. So S1 0 coefficient, S2 also 0 coefficient, but because this problem is of maximization, artificial variables A1 and A2 will be given minus M coefficient. So minus MA1 minus MA2 coefficient will be there. So, and again, we'll be forming this simplex table. First simplex table will be formed, and again, you have to revise it. So this problem I'm giving to all of you. You solve it. And after solving this problem, you have to only this one problem you have to send it on the Google Classroom by as an assignment. So send it by tomorrow. So thank you very much. Now you can on your videos. If any query is there, you're most welcome to. I'll be very happy to reply it. On your videos, all of you. On your videos. Yes, Aishwarya, you have done this Big M method in graduation also?
Yes, sir. I have done this.
Yeah. So I think will not be any problem to understand it. Otherwise, a person who is getting fresh information and through Zoom, unless you do it by hand, it will be very difficult, because you are lucky that you have already studied at the BCom level. Yes, Kashish.
Yes, sir.
Any query?
सर जैसे कि मिनिमम रेशियो हमारी सेम आ जाती है, मतलब जैसे 2, 2 और 4 आ जाए, तो हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि कौन सी
2, 2 और 4 आ जाए? It means that problem is maybe having the alternative solution also. So in that case, suppose you have you have to exit this variable. Now, one variable has to be exited from the minimum ratio on the basis of the minimum ratio. If there is a choice between exiting of artificial variable and slack variable or surplus variable, then artificial variable must go out first. Suppose 2 ratio is coming in two rows, one belongs to A1 and another belongs to S1. So you will exit A1 first. And mostly in other table, this problem will be resolved. But in again, suppose in another table, you find that exit variable is one basic variable, x1, x2 or s3, or slack or surplus variable. You will exit slack or surplus variable and keep the basic variable in the solution. ठीक है जी, चलो. और Ikpreet.
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to add or say something or any query?
No, sir. It was very clear about today, and when we practice the question which we are giving, more clear.
Very good reply has been given by the Ikpreet, because all this need your practice. You may be thinking that you have done at the graduation level, कर लांगे उतो जदों एग्जाम दे नेड़े जे होवांगे करांगे, लेकिन ये भी ना सोचो कि एग्जाम जेड़ा वो तुहाडा ऑनलाइन होना, बिल्कुल ऑनलाइन ही होना. The situation is like this. But unless and until you practice it, because you are not doing it a formality कि ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ एग्जाम ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਕਰ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ, ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗੇ, ਇੱਕ ਜਣਾ ਸੋਲਵ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ 10 ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਦੀ ਡਿਊਟੀ ਲਗਾ ਲਾਂਗੇ, ਯੂਨਿਟ 1 ਨੂੰ ਸੋਲਵ ਵਾਲਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਸੋਲਵ ਕਰ ਲਏ, ਬਾਅਦ ਚ WhatsApp ਕਰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗੇ, ਉਹ ਚੀਟਿੰਗ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨਾਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ। that cheating is not with the system, because system ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲਟਕਾਤਾ, ਸਿਸਟਮ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਥਰੋ ਕਰਤਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਰੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਥੋੜਾ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਪੜ੍ਹਾ ਦਿਆਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਹੀ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਨਕਲ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ, they are not checking you। ਪਰ ਇਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਚੀਟਿੰਗ ਹੈ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਯੂ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਯੂਅਰਸੈਲਫ। ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਲਜਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪੜਾਉਣਾ, if you are not clear about the concepts, then it will be very difficult। ਜਦੋਂ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਿਪਲਾਈ ਕਰੋਗੇ, then it will be very difficult। so it's my advice, humble advice to you ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਇਹਦੀ ਨਾਲ। if anybody has any question, we are most welcome। no question, one way traffic ਨਾ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਕਰੋ, ਕੁਝ ਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, otherwise I will presume that it is everything is clear to all of you। ठीक है जी, चलो थैंक यू वेरी मच।
सर मैंने ना कल गूगल क्लासरूम
बोलो बेटे अमन
में असाइनमेंट,
क्या
सर मैंने कल गूगल क्लासरूम में असाइनमेंट अपलोड करने की कोशिश की थी, पर वो हो ही नहीं रही है गूगल क्लासरूम में असाइनमेंट। अच्छा कोई गल नहीं, मैं व्हाट्सएप कर दो, मंडे को करी थी, कोई गल नहीं। हाँ जी सर, मैंने व्हाट्सएप कर दिया।
ज्यादातर तुसी गूगल क्लासरूम ते पहला ट्राई करनी है, अदरवाइज मैनू वो अपलोड करनी पैगी गूगल दे उत्ते। ठीक है, जे नहीं हुंदी तां नो इशू, तुसी व्हाट्सएप कर दो।
हाँ जी सर, व्हाट्सएप कर दिया था मंडे।
ठीक है जी, ठीक है, चलो ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच। our next class will be day after tomorrow, because कल साडे एक national assessment and accreditation council दी we have to conduct the workshop for the teachers, so mostly the teachers will be busy from 10 to 1:30, so 10 to 1:30 शायद ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੋਈ ਬਾਕੀ क्लास भी ਜੇ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗੀ, because teachers will be attending that workshop only। okay, thank you very much, thanks to all।